Welcome to Whale City project. In this video I'll show you how to import Universal Material System in your project, how to set up project for working with UMS, and then we will create a few materials with simple and advanced mode for a scene which I prepared for this lesson. Let's get started. First of all, let's add the material. Go to Fab and type Universal Material. Find UMS, go inside and click on Add to Project. Then just wait until Unreal makes his job. Cool, we successfully added UMS in our project. Now, if you are using Unreal Engine 5.4, then you should make some tweaks in file DefaultEngine.ini to make Nanite.Tessellation to work. You can skip this segment if you are using Unreal Engine 5.5 and above. Open your project folder, go to config and find DefaultEngine.ini. In this file look for script engine render settings module and under this line find r.Ray true. And under this line type r.Nanite.AllowTessellation equals 1 and r.Nanite.Tessellation equals 1. These two commands you can find in the description. Save the document and relaunch Unreal. Fine. Now let's see about settings for all versions of Unreal. Go to the Edit, Project Settings and choose Rendering tab. First one setting, Clear Code Enable Second Normal. Turn this on if you want to make something like carbon material or carp paint that requires normal layering. The second, Enable Virtual Texture Support. If you want to use virtual textures or UDIM, then you should enable it. Third, make sure that options support hardware ray tracing and use hardware ray tracing when available is enabled. And finally, at the end of the list you can find Substrate folder and enable Substrate materials if you want to use it. Substrate is a brand new experimental pipeline and if you need this, please use UMS Substrate Meister. After all settings up, we should restart Unreal Editor. Great, all done. Now we're ready to start creating materials. Firstly, I want to make basic materials for the scene. I'm creating a material folder and inside of it, creating material instance. Let's start from the basic. Add UMS Meister in parent, open solid settings and make color something like deep darkish brown, near black. Add a little bit of metallic and increase roughness to something like 0.7. Okay, and right away I'm applying the material to the separation. Now let's add another basic material which would be a simple mirror. I want to make floor and backplate reflect sky. All we have to do is increase metallic to the max and slightly add roughness, save it and add to the floor and backplate. And let me decrease color of mirror and decrease a little bit more roughness. Looks pretty good. The next step is create the first simple material of the wood planks. Create material instance, add UMS to the parent and choose simple mode. Watch how all hierarchy was changed. General settings allows you to decide what textures type are you using, basic or virtual textures. Also, you can change material pipeline from ORD to ORM and separate them from each other. Projection tab gives you the option to control UVs in simple or advanced ways. Main map settings is setting almost important in the material, base color, normal, ambient occlusion and reflection maps. Now these planks are too reflective. Let's open roughness adjustments and set roughness brightness to 5 and slightly increase contrast. Would we use metallic for the nails? For sure. Enable it and by default metallic set like a texture, so ORM map now appears on top. Put inside your metallic texture or ORM map. Next, utility settings. You can apply emission or opacity for your material. And then effect settings. We can enable camera clipping. It makes a sphere mask on the camera and cutting out material smoothly. Save this material and close all windows. Let's apply wood material to the floor. Now let's create a simple rock material. Another one material instance, save all and make the same thing. Apply UMS, select simple mode. Go to the main map settings and add our textures in albedo, normal and ORD map. In this case I want to use ambient occlusion, just as metallic, one button, and we're done. Apply this material to the left sphere. You can see an edge because of the UV seam, so I should just rotate the sphere. And I want to increase intensity of normal of the rock. To do it, just open normal adjustments and set the value to 2. Well, looks not bad, right? But let me show you what we can do with the goat. Advanced mode. Start is always the same. Create new instance and select mode. Now, advanced. In advanced mode, hierarchy a bit different and looks big and scary, but its essence remains just as simple and logical. So, start from the wood. Firstly, I'm importing base color, then enable normal and plug in normal map. After it, go to the ORD/ORM settings. In advanced mode you can choose material pipeline just under this tab. And let's add wood ORD and increase roughness brightness to 5 and contrast to 1.1. Also enable metallic, and here we should set metallic as texture. And then plug metallic map to the ORM map input. Now, in advanced mode we can add a displacement to our shader. I will show you how simple it works in Universal Material System. Just enable displacement and then you can choose what algorithm you want to use. By default, displacement type is a Nanite.Tessellation, so uncheck the button and parallax occlusion mapping will be active. Look at this insane quality. Our custom parallax is smart because, first, it works correctly with UV and word-aligned mapping. 2. Our shader reacts to the directional light and makes shadow inside of displacement, but doesn't make shade in the shadow by sun. And 3. It's distance based. When camera near object, it will draw maximum of steps, but when camera goes away, this count would be decreased. Let's slightly decrease POM height, make it 0.15. We're ready to open detail settings. I'm gonna use dirt overlay. Let's set it up. Inside detail settings you could use world-aligned mapping regardless of projection tab. I will make it and leave triplanar mode. I want tile details 2 times. Looks good, but let's increase intensity 2 times as well. Also I want to add a moss layer, so one click and procedural moss appears. Now decrease blend a bit and set blend normal to 20. It would make mossy all the hollows of the normal. Then make it a bit wet. Set moss wetness to 0.4 and it would be cool to make some color correction. Set moss brightness to 1.5, contrast to 1.2, saturation 1.4 would be nice, and moss normal intensity I will increase to 1.5 to make it more sharp. And that's it. You can make hardest things in Universal Material System just in a few clicks. We're almost at the finish line. We need the last material instance, Advanced Rock. I select Advanced mode and first thing, I set in triplanar mapping for this material. I don't want the rock to stretch at the seam and vertically. Quickly plug in textures in the appropriate inputs and straight away making normal intensity 1.5. Then I enable ambient occlusion and displacement. Now we should use Nanite.Tessellation. We can make some adjustments for displacement map if needed. Without any pause, pop up detail settings and enable dirt overlay. Enable volt-aligned mapping and set tiling to 2. I would increase dirt intensity 3 times and add a moss layer. I thought to fill out the rock with the moss, but it gonna make adjustments to displacement, so I decided to subtract moss quantity in half. Also, I set a bit wetness and made the same color and normal corrections. Make sure that your object is Nanite and apply your material. I will zoom in camera to the sphere and you can see that displacement is not working. That's because in material instance we need to enable tessellation in material property overrides tab. Also we can set up a displacement scaling if needed. I will increase magnitude and set center to 0. It means that displacement will start from blacks to whites on the texture map directional, but not from gray bidirectional. And magnitude means range of the displacement. Now tessellation works, but I would like to decrease moss level and slightly adjust displacement texture. Add a little bit more contrast and more intensity. Save it. And now that looks like AAA quality material. You can play with universal material system for hours and test all functions with each other. Create unique combinations of features, but spend time not for coding, but for fun. Summing up, we figured out how to import UMS in the project and how to set up this project to work with. And we created 2 basic materials, 2 simple materials and 2 advanced materials in 10 minutes. And thanks for watching. Please stand by.